Writing. Everybody does it. Just like, does anybody do it good? Probably. People probably do it pretty good. Do I do it good? I don't know. I don't do things good because I totally forgot to put on my, background music. Which one do I want? Random thing. Go. Perfect. This one from Jazopa, because I feel like doing that. It'll load. It'll be fine. So let's recap what we've gone over. What did we do last time, right? We first established that this neat is a kunoichi, right? And then we have the cool blonde gun. Like, can I like zoom this in? Well, that works well enough. I say well enough as though I don't have a thing for that. Like, oh my goodness, I have a thing that helps me with the stuff. Anyway, yes, gun lady friendship, yada yada yada, and they're trying to find the One Piece. Also, the blonde girl doesn't exist, and neither does the One Piece. Sorry to shatter your, hopes and dreams, One Piece fans. It is not actually a giant taco, despite popular belief. But yes, either way, you'll, fight with them throughout the story, yada yada yada. Here's the arcs. We're gonna be redoing them because I had a shower thought. Like, actually just one single shower thought. Alright. Prologue? I don't know, man. I haven't had a shower thought about this one yet. But we do need to establish character, establish the One Piece. They're gonna be king of the pirates. And then recklessly leave the village, right? Because we want her to be clinically insane, and we kind of want people to know that. So, that way it kind of makes sense for later when we have to do the, big twists part of it. Big twists part of it. Does that make sense? I sure hope it does. What else are we doing there again? Yes, let's talk about the rest of the stuff. So, obviously, now that she's recklessly left the village, we need to just head on over there, just a jolly jaunt walk, over to Dana Village, which, hunting village. That's really what it is. And don't mind me, apparently I'm just having to look at technical difficulties or so. OBS, what are you doing? It's like thefting all of my CPU. Like, it doesn't normally do that. Whatever. If it's a thing that it does, it's a thing that it does, right? What else was I gonna go over? That's a great question. Dana Village, okay. Yes, hunting village, and that means they're handing out freebies because, you never know when your next meal is gonna just walk along into a trap or 7. I mean, I hope it's not 7. Why would it take 7 traps to catch a rabbit? Like, that would be, that would be way too much. But yes, they don't give out food for free. They don't give handouts, freebies. They do paybees, though. They'll definitely give out some paybees every once in a while. But, oh, it looks like, we're dying of hunger. But they don't give out freebies. Whatever shall we be doing? We need to do the paybees. We need paybees. Oh, but wait! Convenient treasure near the area. Apparently, we really need money from that. So then we find it. Even though the treasure is apparently lacking, but it's enough to, sell and have a meal. Or maybe about 4. As long as you don't mind the stale bread. It works well enough. Alright, and here's the questionable part, where I had the shower thought. Right? Asher City is supposed to be a big city, but not a big city. It's a very important distinction. It'll be a plain city. There's farming on the outskirts of it. People are and it's also loud. Loud is kind of important, so we're gonna bold it. Just because I wanna. Because that kind of goes with the delusional part. Yada yada yada. It's harder to be delusional when everything's super loud. At least that's in my non-professional opinion. I haven't asked a doctor about that one. Maybe I should. Maybe that wouldn't be a horrible idea. But yeah. That aside, either way, we don't have much with that, right? She goes to ruins on way to city, arrives there, and then doesn't get much info. Like, I don't like that. It doesn't feel it, because what we're trying to do is establish these things to establish these things, right? Like, these are the things we can put in and want to focus on. And those will, in turn, help for these. I don't know about this one, though. That's why it's got 3 question marks. It'll help for these when we get to that point. So the better I do with this, the more check marks I put on each of these, the easier and better this will be. Right? So that's the current plan idea. It's what I got going for it. So let's go back to that shower that I had. You see, I was in the shower. Alright, good talk. But yes, I was in the shower and I thought, I don't really want Asher, so kill it. Okay, but like, maybe not in that sort of thing, right? What I do want to do, though, is remove these parts here. Right? I don't like that. And maybe I still do want to remove Asher, though, too. Of course, every single name here is going to be a placeholder. For, you know, whatever random purpose or reasoning. Let me turn you down just a tad. There we go. That might be too much of a tad. Yeah, that's good enough. Wait, no, that's also too much of a tad. Man, I love technical difficulties. I also had non-technical difficulties earlier. Isn't that cool? Just difficulties. I mean, this itself is a difficulty. We'll call this the Ruins arc. Yeah. Just because that one sounds nicer enough. Right. I don't like that. So, what I want to swap it to, right? We're gonna find ruins on way to city. Get rid of the slight treasure. I mean, the real treasure is the friends we didn't make along the way because they never existed. The real thing that we want there is an other group of adventurers are at ruins. You know this is important because I didn't start it with Kunoichi. That's the real reason. You know it's like the thing. That is the important part. So, yeah. What else is the thing? Oh, yeah. So, these adventurers here that are at the ruins, well, we're going to consolidate our One Piece facts regarding these people. That's what we'll be doing. So, I guess it's just, you know, Kunoichi asks about the One Piece. The adventurers are nice. Adventurers friendly. And I'm gonna put a little smiley face there because I like that. And also it closes that off. Isn't that cute? It's a smiley face, but it also closes the parentheses. Isn't that lovely and cute? I'm sure you know it is. So, what else is there here? There's probably something else I could do. So, let's do something else. Right. Asked about Kunoichi, Kunoichi asked about Kunoichi with varying answers. Perfect. Perfect enough, at least. At least for my liking. What else was I gonna be doing here? I say what else? Yeah, like that helps. Yeah, so we've gone to the extent of my shower thought, right? Which means I have to actually think now and stop thinking about how in the world I fix these technical difficulties. I mean, this never happened before. First, the day is the day. Wow. My favorite day of days. The day that it happens. Whatever. I gotta stop thinking about that. Who needs thoughts? No thoughts. Head empty. Okay. So how are we gonna best have those things happen, right? Because I think the only reasonable thing now that she's on a high is to figure out the where is thing part. I think that is probably a normal way of going about this. The where is thing. And that's kind of what we're going around here. You know. Meaning, now that she knows she has the varied answers, and then she just has a whole ballpark opened. Right? And then it depends on what route we want to take with this. I'm thinking of two routes, just off the top of my head. Alright, just kind of in this section, right here. Okay, option one, we, play into the delusionalness, and we have her really go for one, right? Or option two, we go and research what other people done in this sort of find treasure thing. Which is a possibility. Let me see. Treasure finding stories. See if we get anything there. No, I need like fiction. Not like actual ones. I don't want a real story. No real stories for me. No thanks. Okay, I like to like focus on stuff way too much. Hold on. Yeah, we're fine. Just like, is everything alright with everything else? Yeah. Just stop thinking about one thing, think about other thing, Niro. You can do it. Novels with a treasure hunt. Like, how do we do these things? Oh no, it's bad when I had to go onto Goodreads. Here, can I figure out how to show this? Just smack that in here at the top. Yeah, I don't have Goodreads. Better recommendations? Don't worry about it, it's fine. So here is a thing where they found treasure, right? So now I get to figure out some stuff. The Da Vinci Code, I know that thing is popular. That is popular beyond my personal beliefs. Treasure Island. Ooh, Treasure Island's a good one too. Yeah, I can look at the Da Vinci Code, which I assume is what they solve here. Yeah. Paris receives an urgent late-night phone call. The elderly curator of the Louvre have been murdered. Oh no. And then there's a clues hidden in the works of Da Vinci. Yeah, but these all have clues, right? We don't want clues. That's not the point of clues. We just know it's a thing. Or at least people think it's a thing. But it's not a thing, so therefore there can't really be clues that just lead you there, straightforward and all. Right? It's not a thing we want. Not a thing we're looking at. So. Yeah. Is there anything here? What is timeline? Tell me more about this timeline. This doesn't tell me anything. Okay, next thing. Yeah, it's all like, find clues. Smack these things together. Find all the clues. Alright. I think that's what a lot of these are. The Hobbit there and back again? The Hunger Games? How is that a treasure hunting book? I don't find any treasure over there. I don't think treasure hunting books here is really what we're looking for. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Let's see if I can go here. There we go. Maybe treasure hunting stories fiction where the treasure is fake. No treasure. None of it. The real peril of fake treasure. The authenticity of a nationwide treasure. And that's not. It's not it. It's not the thing. We're looking for the thing. It's not the thing. Okay, well. It seems like I'm on my own. Coding overload. Yeah, OBS. You're doing that to yourself. Ah, well. As long as things keep going, we're fine. It's fine as long as it doesn't implode on itself. And if it does, good luck be to all of us. Speaking of imploding, we're gonna have to figure out how Kunoichi implodes in on herself later on. And I am starting to piece together. I do have more than one piece of that puzzle. For what, how we're gonna make that little implosion, that big implosion, we'll say. Yeah, I'm kinda making that. But, you know, of course we need to, you know, figure out where it is. And given that the thing isn't actually real, or at least we don't know if it's real, then we do kind of need to take the delusional route, right? We need... Yeah. Okay. I have it in my brains is... And it's gonna put a lot on me later on, but, oh well, that's for future me to deal with. Once I've taken those, you know, classes about character and dialogue writing. You know, simply put, who needs to really, sticks with one of the theories. Like, she defends it basically with her life, but not actually, because there's no point. These are nice, friendly adventurers, right? So, Ichi now has idea of where One Piece is, though of course it's not actual. We can kind of implode on that just a little bit later on, you know, once we get a little extra piece of evidence, but we'll work on that later. I assume we're probably going to give these things a few more than one question mark. So, what else do I want to do with the ruins, Eric? Or do I just want to make it like, hidden inventory premature death? It's just like, yeah, it's small. Anyway, that's the important thing. Glad we've established that. Like, she almost probably would want to chase that high. And, well, I would say go straight to it. To which she probably would want to do. Because, you know, chasing the high, right? Hi, welcome in, lady. Let's see, so how she wanted to chase, I mean, we're going for it. So which means I have to figure out where her idea of it is. I'm doing pretty good if I do say so myself. Pretty good. I have this idea in my head that it's like toward the top of, we'll just call it a big mountain. I want to say Mount Everest, right? Though that wouldn't work. More like the one in Skyrim. Than the Skyrim mountain. I want to say that's where it is, and we can kind of just bundle all that in the ruins arc. Because she's gonna be smacked away, so that we can kind of go into the be capable of getting thing. Because something like that's gonna be real tough on you. And down, facing a treacherous mountain there, getting to the top, and then, oh, my delusions have imploded on themselves, and then works out quite good, I say. Quite good indeed. You know, and we'll probably have some other random stuff happen while we're working on the be capable of getting to thing arc. And then we're gonna need, you know, character establishing arc as well during that, but we'll get to that in a bit. You there? I'm here, yeah, of course I'm here. It's like, is it working on here? Checking, it's like, what? Is it working? Yeah, it's working. We're fine. Tech issues, am I right? But yes. Kunoichi thinks One Piece is an dangerous. No, we need a name for that. We need a name for dangerous snowy mountain. That's a good name for that. Like, we're gonna placeholder it anyway. Here, I'll do my normal thing here. Random name generator, please. Yay. Random name generator. I could like see my guy lag every time I open up a web page. OBS, why have you done this to me? Anyway, let's see here. What do we got? Zara? No, not really. Rag. Mio. Nope, that's like a cute anime girl name. I don't like that. Dragomir. That's a good one. Dragomir. Dragomir. A, just to keep that. So I increase. It's 16. Yay, formatting. Yes, Dragomir. Dragomir is going to be dangerous, snowy mountain. Lots of the danger. Many of the evil people. We'll just say bandits. Too cold for, what do we call it? I guess governing officials to deal with. So, now we have bandits. So, bandits. There you go. And so, like, strong bandit. Like, am I getting the point across? Really, it's just for myself. Yes, so that's what Dragomir will be. Well, I'll always change these later. I love my symbolic names and stuff. And so that... yeah, we'll change it all later. When we get symbolic names. One Piece is in Dragomir. Like, she's gonna be kicked out right at the entrance. It's gonna be like a bloodbath. What are you writing about? I'm getting everything together to start writing... I guess, like, writing/making a video game story. You know, I want to make it... I've done a few presentations on how to make a good one before, so I'm having to make sure I do follow a lot of those. And a lot of it is just making it a memorable experience, we'll go with. And I need to make it flow real nice together. You know, I don't want it to just be like, oh, we're going here, but like, actually, nah, I don't feel like we're actually doing that yet. And it's like they hold off for 48 hours of gameplay or, you know, 200 pages. I don't know. I like how I said 48 hours and then 200 pages as though those things are equivalent at all. Maybe in my mind. I read so little. Kunoichi heads off to Dragomir. Reaches an entrance after a few days, and we'll all flesh this stuff out later. I think that'll be good. Yeah, because she would have to, Kunoichi ask people on the way where Dragomir is a fun name to say, though. Dragomir actually is. Yeah, reaches an entrance after a few days. Entrance has bandits. Kunoichi is ruthlessly attacked and loses. So we're really following that sort of thing, right? We established she's reckless and kind of dumb. Now she's on a high. Now she's chasing the high. And then she's going to be put back down a little bit. But, you know, highs don't break that easily. Or at least the idea of the chase. It doesn't break like that. It's a lot slower. Though we can also assume that she's not on a high. Depends on what the bandits want to do. I don't want to Deus Ex Machina her out of there. I really don't. But then again, what would the bandits do, right? Because at that point I want to establish, like, yeah, the monsters or whatever aren't the only threat here. And, you know, because people are strong, As we kind of seen from the Kunoichi girl herself, you know. Then now we just have like an extra layer of threat, right? It's not a monster that's the threat, it's a person that's the threat. And I like that idea. That I do. Does create a difference. So I do want it to be bandits. But bandits are crafty. What would they do? Like, I know what they do in media and stuff, but what do they actually do? Allow me to look it up. Yes. I'll pull it up on screen. You're good. What did bandits do after attacking someone? There we go. Ooh, perfect. A Reddit post. These things are actually pretty good and useful. Alright. Ta-da! There we go. This man here. Oh no, you see my recent stuff. Movies often depict, you know, bandits ambushing travelers, but don't show the aftermath. If you were attacked by bandits while traveling, what would you do then? Scenario A is that you lost your lungs. Let's say this managed. Scenario B, you managed to kill one of the bandits, now a dead body lying in the middle of the street. Yeah, maybe. Let's see here. In England, which, you know, good enough here, right? If you were robbed, you would raise the hue and cry, and all bodied men who heard you were obliged to find and apprehend the criminal and hold them until either read the sheriff or, if in privately held hundred, the Lord Steward came to take them for later trial. Okay, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. I mean, is it just robbery? Because, I mean, robbery could be something. But then again, you're like walking into their territory in this place, right? Though, I mean, at least scenario B, you just loot his corpse. Yeah. I mean, there's a few possibilities there. Banditry. The Wikipedia page. Oh boy. Let's look at the history of banditry to see what our bandits would do in our story. Yes, here. Banditry is a type of organized crime. Yada yada yada. Yeah, I feel like kidnapping is probably the most likely option of this. And then I'd have to... That's like the light bulb moment. Like, yeah, I just figured it out. I solved all our problems just right then and there. Every problem that we've ever might have has been ruthlessly solved. It was beaten by the bandits. And then the bandits kidnapped it. I mean, she is kind apt. Oh no. She is kidnapped. But you can only kidnap what is real, right? So if blonde girl doesn't exist, she ain't being kidnapped, right? Where is it? She is kidnapped. Blonde girl not kidnapped. Unoichi Blonde girl meets Kunoichi outside cell and unlocks it. Now, for those in the know, you would know that it's the Kunoichi unlocking the cell herself. But if you're not in the know, it's like that Mr. Incredible meme. You know, those who don't know, happy smiley face. Those who know, oh my goodness. So it's like that. And that kind of solves a problem, right? Like, I don't really want to deal with, like, the whole kidnapping thing. And that's, we're just kind of, I would say, almost making it a cop-out. Which isn't going to be good in the moment. But in hindsight, it's 2020. And now, according to my knowledge on Game of the Year stories and stuff, they enjoy hindsight a lot more than in the moment. Especially because they do have to, you know, beat it in order to get their reviews. So, yes. We've got to establish. And skills. We really need to make sure that one's done. Oh, I need to flesh that out later. I so do. Bleh. Like, yes. Kunoichi runs away. Do I want to do it to a nearby town? Not really. And then we can go into our next arc from there, right? So, we've established the where is thing. Not to be capable of getting to the thing, but to understand that we need to have that a little more. And maybe I do like half a check here. Can I do half a check here, but like make it smaller? Yeah, that'll work. A check mark, but smaller. And so that tells us that. And now we're really, ooh, I can also do a get to thing check mark. Yeah. But like a smaller one. Okay, so now we're really going with the other random stuff in order to do the be capable of getting to the thing part. And I do also want to do a more character establishing. You know, this one should also be green. I'm just now realizing. Where is things should be green, because that's like a that's a hard one. Hard hit point. So how do I do that one? Green or normal check mark. There we go. Yep. There we go. A hard hit and establish. You know, soft, hard. Yeah. Formatting. So, we'll need something later on where Kunoichi takes down bandits, and then at that point, that's our cue to start final arc. I guess second to last arc, because I totally want to do a final arc thing. You know, just like a cool moment. It's like, yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. I can make it look at least pretty cool. How would it end off? I don't know yet. Let me work on that part, right? So, we need to start arc 3. Arc 3. No, it's 18. Yeah. Arc 3. What is arc 3? Let me think about this, right? What's the logical place? Well, what's the logical thing to do, right? I mean, I guess I just have like 3 choice, right? It's the paralysis of, or choice paralysis. Paralysis of free choice. That is what I'm experiencing right now. You know, because I have the freedom to just go, say, Kunoichi, makes it to village. Don't even know what the village is yet. And then who knows what from there. I have options. Oh, goodness. Free choice paralysis. Yeah, too many options, not a very good thing. You know what I should do? Should adjust you again. You're a little louder now. Congrats. No free choice paralysis. I said I was going to make this open, and that really helped in, like, these parts. But now it's being open's a little hard now, because I can't just flow start it in there. Because now I have to figure it out. It's not like the make the next best choice. It's, well, what now, right? Either way, she still does need to eat. Which means we're probably going to go more treasure hunting. But we still need to do more capable of getting the thing. Maybe I should be thinking about it as blonde girl character arc, right? Or character establishing, right? We kind of need blonde girl to be like yin and yang, because that's the only thing that makes sense with her being delusional. You know. It's just seeing Shizuri here. It just doesn't make any sense in practice. But she's there whether you like it or not. So yes, we're gonna do we're gonna be one of these, and probably one of these for the next arc. So how do I establish blonde girl is I don't know which one is yin and which one's yang. I'm just gonna say yin to the Kunoichi's yang, and you know, hopefully that makes sense. You know, two parts of a whole, because, well, you know, I mean, we can kind of establish that. Which means what would I want to do with that? I want to establish what? Responsibility, things happening. I mean, blonde girl can talk to people. Because then it's just her taking over for Kunoichi. It really is choice paralysis. Kunoichi makes it to village, right? I like villages. Like, I don't want to just say, bandit problem, oh no! I want to go, you know. Like, maybe we do have, like, a bandit leader be, like, the final boss sort of thing. Not because he's, like, you know, been there the whole game, but because he's in the way, right? And once she implodes, then that kind of works out there. And I kind of like that idea now that I'm saying it, so that's probably the idea we'll go with. So how do I establish the arc? How do I establish blonde girl being how she is, right? She would be yin to yang, but she'll have all the emotions, right? So she'd probably still be on the high too. You know, they're on a high as a group. And then the rest like, let me, like, look up the definition of responsibility, because I'm just that out of ideas. I guess not that out of ideas, it's just like, I don't have anything. Too many choices. Too many possibilities. Reliability, well, that's great. Top lookouts? What do you mean? What? Government by the worst people. Okay, well, that kind of tracks for why it's one of the top lookups according to Merriam-Webster. I'd be surprised if I see anybody actually using that. I know I won't. That's the wrong thing. Might have hit the X on accident. That's fine. I'll get back to it. So, yes, that all aside, right? We're in a village, and then we need something to happen, right? Because we're doing the whole human monstery thingies, right? We want specifically we're probably going to be fighting a monster. A monster of some form or fashion or function. There we go. Music's back. Yay. I'm gonna loop it, but it's 8 hours. So, we're fighting a monster for a treasure, right? Because no way they're gonna do anything if there isn't a treasure, because we're really chasing it. There's a high and we want it. I guess for a lot of people, like, the unattainability of the treasure there, it's like, oh, you know, that sort of thing. The unattainability would be pretty good. Thinking almost a romance standpoint. It's like, oh, I can't get this? Well, now I want this. Sort of thing. So. Kunoichi makes it to village. Yay. So we need a monster. What's the monster gonna be? What's it gonna do? Like, do I need, like, full establishing? Not really. Just a monster. I wouldn't say the monster's even terrorizing the village anyway. We are going out of our way to deal with this thing. Monster is somewhat... I'll just say... Kunoichi asks about treasure. We're gonna go with the whole treasure route. Like, if I find more treasure, then I'll be able to deal with this. Kunoichi asks about treasure. Oh, we're gonna be calling this one the monster arc. The monster arc. I feel like I have to put an arc at the end of all these names. Hometown arc, train a village arc, Dana. Ask about treasure. Villagers. Is there even a bounty? How are we with corpse looting? Right? Is corpse looting a possibility? Like, is that a normal thing? Like, are the villagers gonna be like, oh yeah, we've seen a bunch of people go after him, but they haven't come back, so there's probably a bunch of corpses you could loot over there, and that's a treasure enough. Like, yeah, okay, corpse looting, sure. We can loot corpses, right? Okay, maybe that's a little much. Little much, looting of a corpse. At least for the villagers to be like, yo, yeah, corpse looting's fine. We do it all the time with our nieces. They love it. So, what would they be mentioning? Right? Unless they know, yeah, that's a treasure. Well, about that, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, there's two ways we can go about this again, right? Option number one. I'll write this down because I feel like it. Option number one. Monster is guarding treasure that the villagers know of. Alright. Option number two. Right. Kunoichi is just sure there's treasure there. Right? Two options. Right. This one be kind of coincidence. I don't like that. But it does give an actual reason. An actual firm reason, I should say. As opposed to this one, where it's just, you know, delusion. Already did delusion. Alright, we could do it again, sure, but why? What triggers the delusion to be the monster? Because we haven't established that yet. So, yeah. But then again, I've seen a bunch of... I feel like I have seen a lot of coincidence, right? I don't like having coincidence, but sometimes you do need a bit of it, right? You know, in stories, there is a lot of it there. What's a good one? Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten Death Note, popular anime, if Light wasn't there to just get the notebook. If he wasn't there at that exact time, maybe somebody else was there. You know, maybe he's like, oh, I don't actually need a notebook, or I don't want to investigate this, right? Like, if none of those things happened, then nothing, right? So they're it's not bad to have a few things of coincidence, I just don't like that. It's not like a firm with not thing, right? There's not much of a reason to it. And I don't want to just be like, oh, haha, the monster's guarding the treasure, haha, like that'll ever happen. And then she's like, treasure? And then delusions that into existence, like, eh. I don't want to do that. So I'll just make it, yeah, actual monster, actual guard treasure. That the villagers know of. Whether there is treasure or not, we'll establish later. There'd probably be treasure anyway. So, there's mention a monster potentially guarding a treasure. So now, we need to, I guess, locate and attack the beast for the treasure. What was the point of this again? Just entirely blanked on that. Character, oh, blonde girl. Yeah, okay. We need to establish blonde girl. Okay. Blonde girl character. You know, yin yang, the other side of the coin. You know, probably the more dull side, but still needs to be a side. Just mention a monster potentially guarding the treasure. I feel like I had something for this just a little bit ago. And my whole, like, yeah, it's this or that thing just really took me off my game, right? Yay. Yay! Yay! So, how do we establish that? I kind of want to just, like, have a cool monologue there where she talks about protecting the Kunoichi girl, right? You know, and that's kind of part of the fight. Right? Like, yeah, I will always protect you. And Kunoichi's like, wow, thanks. I'm like, that establishes it, but it's kind of one-off almost. Do I do a hidden inventory? You know, let's just do a backstory thing, right? I don't know. I don't think there's a need for a backstory thing. No need. At least not in this current part. Right? Like, I could do the I'll always protect you thing, but... we can kind of just set it up a little bit more throughout this arc, because we can have the blonde girl know ahead of time that, yeah, it's not a thing that we want to fight, but, reckless girl, reckless. Just how do I want to end it? I'll figure that out later. Kunoichi starts to track blonde girl. I was gonna say does supply stuff, but that's not quite what I want here. That's something we could also already establish ahead of time. And we'll fill it in like, you know, little dots on a ruler. She starts to track blonde girl. You know, well, we'll just say some encounters along the way. It's almost like a rock in a hard place here. Except the rock is like punchable. And it feels really nice to punch, but you kind of don't want to punch it because you want to be in a rock in a hard place. That's what it feels like right in this part. Whether that makes any sense at all or not. And she starts to track some encounters along the way. Kunoichi gets tired. Blonde girl activates. No, I wouldn't say activates because I'll get confused with that later. Tries to protect Kunoichi. By telling her to head back. Is that fine? Is that alright? Is that like a half decent thing? I'm not a big fan of this arc. Really not. I could also try to make this arc a scapegoat for the other ones, but it's still like an important arc, you know? Not every arc has to be the best thing ever. You know, everyone's human after all. Except the blonde girl. She's not existent. So that sort of thing is the type of thing that we'd probably be looking more for. Okay. Kunoichi doesn't. And then we're gonna find the monster, right? Find this monster. Yeah. And then probably the treasure in there. Or is she the type to not care about that? No, she cares more about the treasure. So. And potential treasure placement. Kunoichi recklessly. I like using the word recklessly because that makes me remember that she's reckless. Charges in and fights monster. Kunoichi loses again. Yeah. She's not on a good track record at all. Ruthlessly attacked. And knocked unconscious. However you spell that. It's quite an interesting dynamic here, right? Because if we go, I will always protect you, then we have this in the, like, prior. Like, in a sadistic way, that kind of works. Like, honestly, yeah, the contradiction in that kind of works. Because we know blonde girl doesn't exist. If you're going through it at that point, you're gonna be like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. But then after the fact, you're like, oh my goodness. Yeah, that makes sense because that references her, like, actually gaining strength. We're actually gaining strength. After a while, I want more time for them to gain strength and lose again. Blonde girl attacks Kunoichi. I like sadistic ways of doing this. I think that's more fun that way. And gives a super cool monologue. For later, I'll just write a note here that says, insert cool one-liner here that will make Twitter squeal. Yeah. I'm thinking ones that are like, are you Satoru Gojo because you're the strongest, or are you the strongest because you're Satoru Gojo? Just stuff like that. You know, even if you don't know what a Jujutsu Kaisen is, you probably have heard that before. Or throughout all of heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one. You know, just something that you'd heard, you know of. And that kind of exits its space because it's a cool one-liner. Hasta la vista, baby. That's a nice one. Anyway, we'll call it party. Party defeats, monster. I had like a little interjection thought in there, like, hold on. We can swap characters at will. Wouldn't it, how would, you know, all this stuff work with, you know, Kunoichi this, Kunoichi that? It's like, how do you take it out in there? Then it makes total sense when you think about it, because Blonde Girl doesn't exist. It's like, everything's so unintentionally working as I would plan it to be. Like, yeah. No, this ain't a bug. This is a thematic feature. This is actual symbolism here. I mean, it's monster, but is in rough shape. It's gonna be like, oh, are they gonna do watch, you know, when they fall asleep? No, not gonna do that. They can't. It's one girl. It's one girl pretending to be two people, right? Means monster, but is in rough shape. Now here is the question. Yeah, the one question to rule them all, alright? Is the treasure real? How do we want to establish this? Always protecting Kunoichi. I mean, if you're on arc 3, you're probably already, you know, far enough in there that you're committed, right? You know, I can see prologue or Dana, you know, being like, But, you know, if you're at Arc 3, then you're committed. And it's all coming out at once, so judge it accordingly. And that's what I say to anybody who thinks, what? There's a plot hole here. Because this one doesn't work. Yeah, actually it does. Read more. Sorry, I just think that's really cool. Anyway, does the treasure exist? You know, I would love to set up a little more for try the One Piece not being real. But I don't think this is the time because we're trying to increase the high. And it just wouldn't really be like a cool weird thing if, you know, it's always just nothing, right? So I think there is treasure, right? You know, I can say, though, treasure is lacking here. It's not, we can establish ahead of time that, sure, there just might be treasure, but it's not going to be what you expect, right? And especially at something like Dragomir, where it's already been, you know, settled in by bandits, right? Not a thing that you'd want. And also, they'd already, you know, have taken the treasure at that point, so. Yep, all's well that ends well. Except this one won't, probably. I don't know the ending. Don't know it yet. Yep. Means monster, but isn't rough shape. And Ichi finds the treasure, which is real. The treasure is real. Yes, the treasure is indeed real. Ain't that special, isn't it? Ichi finds the treasure, which is real, mind you. And then Kunoichi makes it back to town. Now with more riches. Now, what does that do for us? Now that we've established that part, and that's basically the end of the arc. We got a little bit more into the whole be capable of getting the thing. We do have a good amount more of character establishment. And we have a little bit of other, random other thing that happened. Such as kind of like the Alabastus thing. And we're going to be doing that for the next arc, but I think the next arc we're going to want to... I mean, two things. We're going to want to make that next arc bigger. And also, we're going to have it be bandit focused. Because once we fight bandits, then we go, you know, we say, oh my goodness, I can do it now. And then we're going to brute force Dragomir. And then after that, we go into final. Yeah. So it's like, whoa, 3 arcs left? Yeah, 3 arcs down, too. Yeah. So, what to do? Man, writing's so cool sometimes. But then it's like, oh, there's more I have to write. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Once you get into a flow state, though, it does get super easy. What are we doing in this next one? I wanna be drafted, kind of. Or at least recruited, right? Into like an actual raid, right? There's no way she's gonna be taking bandits down on her own, right? The only reason she's been able to take down monsters is because she did in arc number 1, and maybe we establish more in prologue, which I'll have to refurbish later. But I mean, as long as I keep all these things and don't add anything else, it's fine. So what do we do here? We've done character establishing things. We need to do more be capable of getting to thing. Where is thing? We've figured that part out. Get to thing, we will do next. So we'll just do that. I mean, it's really just a whole, I guess, establish a little more character. And then... yeah, fight the bandits. Okay. I will have to think about it just a tad bit differently because we're not going to be as reckless anymore because Blonde Girl had her speech. It's called character development for the one character. Right? Yeah, and the whole "I will always protect you" speech will probably be a big influence as to why we're actually taking on the bandits. He goes, "Oh no, bad experience, but don't worry. I will always protect you." And then we're like, "Alright, thanks, let's go." My own writing amazes me at times. It's kind of cool that way. That aside, let us first figure the specifics. We like SpongeBob. So I do think being recruited. So we're gonna call this we're gonna call it Bandit Arc. Arc for Bandit Arc. Yes, this is the arc for the Bandits arc. Arc for Bandit Arc. In which we are now. I just had another thought, like, you know, I made, you know, big difference going from this to that, like, little sister isekai that I did a long time back. Like, I don't want to think about that. It kind of makes me scared to even think about my own writing that I did there. Like, oh my goodness, that was a horrible thing. It wasn't good in my standards. I don't think it was good in anyone's standards. The little sister isekai I wrote, but I don't even know if I have access to that. Actually, I totally do. I should remove access. No, I'm not gonna do that, but you know, just having this sort of stuff outlined to where, you know, everything does go well together. Yeah. Though, of course, as I have it written there, I will need to trust my past self quite a bit. But I think it's best if I just, you know, get to smacking things down, get it done. So I don't think to myself, ooh, I should go back and really change some of this, right? Like, I want this to be the thing, and I'm going to only add on to it. Right? Or elaborate on it, I guess. Is also a fine way of saying it. So Bandit Arc. Do I want a time skip? No. Kind of removes the reckless nature a little bit. Now, I said before she wouldn't be reckless, but she's still a little reckless. Just not as reckless. Especially in relation to fighting. She's got that one track mind, let me tell you. Alright, Kunoichi, maiden girl. Speaking of one-track mind, let's one-track mind it, right? And just say, Kunoichi arrives in yet another village. Actually, you know what? We're finally gonna be using Asher again. We're gonna be arriving in Asher. Yet another Asher. Now, Kunoichi arrives in Asher. And that will mean that she's able to do stuff. Right? Kunoichi doesn't like loud environment. No, I don't like that. I don't like the whole loudness thing. I don't like that. Because it kind of contradicts just a teeny tad bit with some of the other ones there, right? If it's just harder because more people on street, then maybe, but... We already have people on the street. It's not like we need a secluded specialty area. So, I'm gonna get rid of the large part. Just big city, plain city, farming on outskirts. People are So here's the thing, right? If she's gonna get recruited, alright, how is she gonna figure that out? How is she gonna figure out that people are recruiting? I guess we do the tried and true method, right? Ask around. If it ain't broke, am I right? I mean, she asks around about treasure. Now, they don't really care much about treasure here, so... Nonoichi is told about drafting for fight. Does she get told what it is? Yeah. Fight against bandits, right. Kunoichi reluctant, but blonde. It's kind of funny how I just do blonde girl or blonde. And blonde girl says she'll protect her. She'll protect Kunoichi from the bandits. Unlike last time. There we go. Just as a little reminder to myself, because I don't want to be so blatant with it in the actual writing. Anyway, Kunoichi joins draft. She's been drafted into the military. I know. I would say, you know, that the other people will also help that are being drafted, but I feel like that's too logical for our Kunoichi girl. I don't like that idea. You know, it kind of makes me think that I'm going through it, because I would be thinking about the other people. But I think I want to focus a little more on the Kunoichi herself. So, Kunoichi joins draft. Draft stuff happens. It's mostly unimportant. Yeah. No, I'm gonna make something happen here because I want to set things up. You know, I kind of want to be like opening act, right? Before stuff happens. Like if you go to a comedy show, they have openers. Or a concert, they have openers. Or basically anything, they have openers, right? So, Bandit Arc is going to be our opener, right? You know, in a comedy show, you're going to get some comedians there who are funny, but they're not supposed to be as funny as the big guy, right? So we're going to have this, so it's going to be a twist, but not as big a twist here. And we're just going to have, you know, draft stuff. Draft stuff happens. Kunoichi makes friends. Do I need to establish the friend? Should establish friend. Alright. We're gonna go Dragon here. Here we go. Friend. Do I need an image? I probably do. What would be a good friend image? Or would I like the friend to be? Friend. is nice. Doesn't care about Kunoichi's business. I'm going through this just imagining the perfect friend for Kunoichi. Just the perfect one, you know. Is strong. Has a fascination for fairy tales. It's gonna put an eye there. Fairy tale. It's fascination for fairy tales. I should do I really should do an image though. Anime Night. I don't want to make her blonde or anything. Not Knight of the Zodiac or whatever. It'd be a girl. Night girl. What would I be thinking of here? I must do like a Jean d'Arc. Not alright, copy it from somewhere else. No, I'm not doing a Stolfo. Here, I'll steal from Unicorn Overlord. Unicorn Overlord. Night. Oh, these are all guys. Night girl. Yeah, first option, you'll work well enough. Just to kind of show what we're looking at here. Perfect. Ta-da. Oh my goodness. You go away. I don't know why you always do you. You mean unsupported format, yada yada. Okay, that's fine enough. I need to make it small anyway. Friend, here's friend. Just a little image of friend. And then you can kind of see it. You see, there's friend. That's not at all. I'm trying to like make it work. How do I make this work without it being weird? Here we go. That'll work. There we go. There's friend. Friend is nice. Get away. Ta-da. Now we have picture of friend. This is... It's gonna change because I can't just steal it. That's not how copyright law works. But for something like this, this is fine. So, Kunoichi makes friend. Oh, I should do a name. I should name friend. Friend name. Random name generator. Friend gets name. Of course, it will change later, but I think it's more fun if I give a name right now. Gazo, no. Merman. Ayub, no. Valentine. Aw, how lovely. No. Calypso. I don't think we're going that route. Archibald. No. Kenshin? Like Raroni Kenshin? I didn't expect it to take this long to find a nice name by our random name generator. Are these names gonna be permanent now? Because, like, there's nothing more permanent than a, you know, temporary name. That's a good enough one. Avelio. Avelio. Avelio's a cute enough name. Thanks, friend, with Avelio. Yay! Anyway, in case you're wondering, please don't get it too attached. Avelio is going to die. That's the opener. That's our opening. Avelio's death. That's the real opening for this thing. Avelio absolutely dies. Just kind of like a thing that happens, though. You know? Not like a thing you want to happen. It's just a thing that does happen, though. She makes friends with the Valio. Friendship stuff. We're gonna add a new straw hat to the one to find the One Piece. Yay! I just feel like that'd be so dumb. Friendship stuff. Would they go to a cafe? No, but they would go out to eat. Go out to eat. Would Kunoichi treat? That's like a real hard question. If Kunoichi and Avelio were to go out there to a meal, would Kunoichi try to overstep and do it? Blonde girl would. But would Kunoichi? Because I feel like we have the whole, you know, Kunoichi friendship. And now Kunoichi's gonna take it over Blonde girl. Blonde girl's just gonna stick back. She's over at the corner. Not gonna matter. Kunoichi's not paying. Absolutely not. Kunoichi is in no way paying. Kunoichi pays. Yeah. And not Kunoichi. Kunoichi does not pay. Go out to each. Why did I put in each? Eat. They're gonna go out to each. Here we go. Yes, Avelio does pay. You know. Now they're friends, right? Friendship. Yay! Lovely. I love friendship. I really hope Avelio doesn't die later. Like, we're not trying to make it, like, sad or anything. It's not like a thing you want to be, like, bleh. It's just, you know, a little preparation. A little preparation ahead of time. You know, let me just confirm that I am doing this correctly. Why do comedians have openers? There we go. But yes. It's like waiting for it to load, like, okay, thanks, Cora. Anyway. Yeah, it's really just, you know, be receptive. Be more receptive. The audience will be more receptive there. Because it's like the expectations, right? If you're expecting the, you know, good part where you're here for to be better, and we've already kind of set that up, it's like, yeah, we're gonna go find the One Piece, right? And if we're expecting that to be better, then, you know, seeing this, it's like, oh my goodness, what's gonna actually happen? Well, let me tell you. Like, there's either that, or we just hit him with the cold shoulder, right? It's like, oh, you're expecting everything to go nice. Well, actually, no. In which case, like, which is better? Because now I'm thinking that. It's like, oh, do we actually wanna? Like, do we want to actually deal with this sort of thing? Do we want that to be an opener? Or do we just want to go cold on that? Thinking back to Trails in the Sky, which I played a little while back, and in which that one definitely had what I would consider an opener, which is most of its game. Until the ending, where the very end had a twist to set up its next game. Which I will definitely be playing, but I think I like the opening idea. I think I will. And I can always change it later. It's not something that'd be too hard to change if I get reception later. Kinda is cute. I like Avelio. Can't wait to have that be the name for the rest of eternity. But yes. Value pays. How does drafting work, actually? Do they usually train them? Medieval drafting to fight bandits. There we go. Is that a thing that occurred? Medieval dynasty. Well, that's not helpful. How did they draft in medieval times? Well, I guess, like, if you join it specifically in a big place like this, then, you know. I guess it doesn't really matter then. Like, yeah, this is how it is. It's how we're doing it. Oh. I just pulled up a little thing here to check it. Can I show it? Nah, it doesn't matter. Be quick. Yes, they not only drafted civilians because they thought they'd be good at arms. They were expected to ahead of time to be good at it. So yeah, anyway. To answer the question that I was asking with that, would they be training? It wouldn't be any personal training, right? It's just, you know, get your stuff ready. We're going to be leaving on this day at this time. It's like, all right, sure. All right, so we're going to have them train a little bit because I am still worried that we haven't done enough, like, of the be capable of doing it. I don't think Kunoichi is currently capable enough of fighting enough. Though I think it will help if we kind of elevate her status in that. Make her think she's better than she actually is. Elio has Kunoichi train with her until time to go. You know. I'll do that. And then I'll type in friendship moments. Okay, fine. Generic friendship moments. We're not doing much here. We really aren't. We're just gonna kill her off. Friendship moments. But not too many. And then group goes out to, we'll call it drafted. Drafted. Goes out to fight bandits. And then fight goes not too well. Avelio dies. Do I want to do character arc for Kunoichi there? What reaction would Kunoichi have? And gives cool one-liner. Oh, there we go. What reaction would Kunoichi have? She's gonna be a little more reckless. She's gonna do reckless rage. Kunoichi, go recklessly, you know, kills the rest of the bandits. Kunoichi looks for treasure Is there any treasure there? That's a good question. Now I have to look that up. Did bandit camps usually hold treasure? I really like those. History. There's like Ask Historian subreddits and stuff. Like, those are good. Like, you know, even like the random 10-year ago post is like, that's pretty good. Did bandit camps usually hold treasure in medieval time? I'm just trying to get a yes or no here. Did they hold treasure? Did they? I assume they have a camp. Because where else are they gonna go? They're wanted criminals. Bandits at the time would find a hideout there. Yes. They were small-time highwaymen, but also mercenary companies who would just raid villages randomly until they got a contract. Then they'd raid specific villages. Great, thanks here. This isn't... I just wanted a yes or no. Did they hold stuff? I'm gonna say yes, they did. Where else are they gonna look for treasure? Or they're gonna keep their treasure. Inuichi finds treasure. Woohoo. And I like that more because it gives extra incentive. It's like, oh, let's go back and find the other stuff. More treasure. I love the high, you know. Gotta love it. I feel like after this, we can flow to state. Kunoichi. We shall forget later. Goes back to city. Kunoichi. Talks to blonde girl about going back to Dragomir. I think this is paced relatively nicely. Like, there's stuff constantly happening, you know, at least for now. It's a blonde girl about going back to Dragomir. Since now, they killed bandits. Inuichi leaves for Dragomir. Kunoichi thinks about treasure and forgets about Velio. There we go. Kind of sad. Anyway. Let's go into Arc 5. Arc 5. One Piece arc, because we still don't know the name of that. Okay, now this feels like now till end of game. I feel like I can flow state this almost, right? And not have to stop and look, oh, did they have treasure back then? I feel like I can flow state this. Kunoichi arrives at Dragomir. Kunoichi. Does she care? No. She's got such a one-track weird mind that I don't like it. Kills bandits at entrance unreluctantly. Same ones that got her before. And now we can start our ascent. Kunoichi starts ascent. Ow, my arm. What happens on the ascent? Up toward top of Dragomir. Because I assume there's like a room where the treasure would be, but yeah, of course, no treasure there. And then she collapses. And she starts ascent. I feel like we want to make the ascent... I mean, we want to say ascent is long and hard. We want that. Kunoichi struggles multiple times with the cold footing, monsters, and bandits. Like, make it a little long. Because I want to, more than really anything else, just show that the ascent is long and hard, instead of just telling you that, right? So I want to actually make the ascent long and hard. Yeah. That and full sincerity. You know, make the, player just think, oh my goodness, finally, we've made it. And that way they too kind of have that implosion. You know? Like, do they like it? No, absolutely not. That is the point. I'm glad you understand. I'm so cool. Honestly, I am making this a lot better than I thought I would. Make it a little long. A little too long. Anyway. Kunoichi arrives at top, or at room at top, where she thinks the One Piece is. Well, maybe thinks is the wrong word. Is certain the One Piece is. Kunoichi enters and finds nothing. Right? So she's worn down. She thought she had done it. And then the thing that she has tried her best to find isn't even there. It's not there. It's not real. We're breaking at that point. She's gonna be broken. Player might be a little too. Right? I mean, she enters and finds nothing. Now, how do I want to do the other reveal, right? Because we've done this one. We need this one too. The blonde girl isn't real. Kunoichi enters and finds nothing. Kunoichi is in despair. Kunoichi has found the One Piece isn't real. Kunoichi implodes. I'm gonna write a little note for myself here. Which episode 8. Now, I watched that episode just this morning, right? And that's probably what inspired this whole imploding thing. It really tells me what it is, but, you know, if I forget what I mean by implodes, because it's quite an interesting topic, then I'll just rewatch the episode. Kunoichi comes to terms with blonde girl not being real. Make it cool. Yeah, do that. Yeah, thanks, me. I appreciate it. Just thanking me in the future. Reveal that blonde girl was just Kunoichi. I don't want to do it like that. Show both sets of weapons on Kunoichi. Because blonde girl has guns, Kunoichi has melee, sword, stuffs, whatever. So now we've shown both sets. You know, now we know. Blonde girl stuff was just being done by Kunoichi. We kind of can make that connection. It doesn't need to be said directly. I'm sure our player is smart enough. Kunoichi rage. Because the thing she just spent so long on is now there, and now she's had to come to terms with things. I think rage is the proper emotion there. You know, on Journal of the Witch, it is sadness. Though. And then again, rage wouldn't make much sense, so maybe Kunoichi sadness would work. Now she's sad for herself. I feel like that's fine. Wait, can I control F? Sad. One mention. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. Kunoichi's sadness. Now, we go final arc. Final arc. Single person arc. Single person rampage arc we'll go with. That sounds good enough. I mean, these don't need to be, like, specific names. Yeah, this kind of feels like short. It's like the whole arc. Compared to... Well, that's maybe not as short as I thought it was. Anyway. You know, if there's such a big one, though. Kunoichi starts treading down the mountain. Of course, we know that the banditry people are strong here. Treading down the mountain. And final arc is going to be a little short. Which is totally fine. Kunoichi finds large bandit camp. The strongest. Unbeknownst to her. At that point, I don't think she even cares. Though she wouldn't care. Yeah. About that. Kunoichi takes it all down. I'm gonna write down here, near power trip. And I'm writing all these to really just show more of, like, the emotion part of it, right? This is what I want to be felt here. You know? And this is why I'm doing it. Unlike some of the other times where I just like, yeah, Velio pose. Like, alright, sure. Yeah. Near power trip. Kunoichi encounters bandit leader, which will be final boss. What? Does Kunoichi let the bandit leader get in a monologue before they start fighting? Maybe. That's a big maybe there. Nah, Kunoichi wouldn't. Bandit leader tries to monologue, but Kunoichi starts the fight. I don't even want to, like, name bandit leader. Bandit leader's not one of those important people, nor does Kunoichi really think. So. Kunoichi, big bad mood. All this is kind of notes for me later. But I trust myself for now. And she starts the fight. Kunoichi wins. And the ending here. It's something that I didn't know when I started this, but during the course of the stream, I kind of knew what to do here. Kunoichi wins. Kunoichi finds treasure. Alright, finds treasure. Treasure is big, but Kunoichi thinks the treasure is small. Kunoichi cries. For a long time. And collapses. Roll credits. There you go. I like that idea. Do I have anything after that? Absolutely not. Do I have an epilogue? I like that idea. And that's the story, right? That's the one. You know the twist. You know how Kunoichi thinks at this point. Is there anything for her? Probably not. She probably dies. Can't get off the mountain. Or is killed by some bandits there, because, you know, after this part, she is in no mood to do anything. How flowed the words today? Well, first, welcome in. And honestly, great. I just finished the second half of this. I didn't think they'd flow quite as well, but they're lovely. Lovely. Now we have roll credits. Do I bold this? I bold this. And make it like 15. There you go. Roll credits. Yay, lovely. Lovely, yay. Do I want to flesh this out? I should, but I kind of don't. Oh yeah, I need to rework first. I forgot about reworking prologue. Yeah. Okay, how do I establish this? What skills do I need to establish? I kind of want to leave it up in the air almost, right? Like, you know she has skills, but you don't want to know what skills she has. But how do I establish that she does have it? How do we establish that? Post by Discovery Writer? Oh, never know what's gonna happen until it's on the page. Yeah. Hargomet. Oh, thank you for following. Thank you, thank you. Forget about important things and characters, remember them. Yeah. That would be weird. And that's quite frankly a good way to do it. I just have a hard time keeping up with that. He's like, woo, now I'm writing and like, oh, I'm only on page like 20. Out of like 400, you know? But here it's like, I got a full checklist, right? You know, I already know all this stuff. I think that makes it a little easier for me. Additionally, because I can go back at any time. Like right now, how do I do this? I need some backstory for Kunoichi Girl. And I'm kind of fixed with that. Just forgetting that the MC had a marriage ceremony. And then you know, to pipe up that they could go to their wedding. You're about to hit the floor. I just think it's really funny there. It's just like, you write something who's like, what, really? That's happening? It's like, I just think that's funny. Like, great on the character, right? Amazing. Such a good character, even reminds the author, right? That's great, though. That's great. Bravo. Bravo. Ah, great. Okay. So, this is really just character establishment part, right? We do want to establish this, too. Let me go here. She leaves village recklessly. I like that word specifically, so I'm still thinking it. What should I do? We need to establish that Kunoichi has something there. Kunoichi lives by herself. Kunoichi lives with blonde girl. There you go. They're inseparable. Physically. I guess maybe more mentally. Yeah. Mentally is probably a little closer to it. Yes. And she lives a blonde girl. You know. It's more like, really? I forgot that they're getting married in that day of the story. He's so focused on getting containers to put show shampoo and conditioner with. Huh? It's a custom in that world. Oh my goodness. It's like, ooh. Priorities, right? Gotta get this soap, shampoo, and conditioner in there. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, though. It does. It does, yeah. Still great, though. Still great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Michi trains swordsmanship. I feel like just showing that she's training something kind of establishes that she has skills, right? Kunoichi goes into town mostly for freebies. Like, did I establish that before? Hometown, Port Village, nice people, loving people. Yeah, that's fine. His sister-in-law griped at him for being late to the ceremony. He insisted on. This is great. Yeah, that is great. Love it. Wait for freebies in the form of food. There you go. Like, villagers like Kunoichi. What wish Kunoichi did something. Oh, the little dude did something practical, right? Because we can say trade swordsmanship, but it's not as practical, you know? And I guess I don't need too much here, right? Just, you know. Adventurers go into town and share stories at, we'll just say pub. Kunoichi is getting food in. Adventurers tell story about... Wait a second. Wait just a second. If I say One Piece, replace this with Shanks, and you have the actual story. Hold on. It's just actual One Piece. Wait a second. Huh. You know what? It's fine enough. They can't copyright that. Besides, Luffy doesn't recklessly leave. Wait, never mind. He totally does. Oh no. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Women far number men in that world, so it's common for women to pay for free. Oh my goodness, the world building. Yet another marriage to princess. Oh my goodness. Ran out of flowers halfway down the aisle. So adorbs, even though thought of wearing a dress. Just about makes them see vomit. What the world? Oh my goodness. So much world building there. I feel like I'm kind of lacking in it. Not the point in mind though. I don't know. I'm making a manufactured story. It's good enough. Kunoichi declares she'll get it. She'll get it. Despite villager insistence, Kunoichi leaves village recklessly. Yeah, that's good. That is good. That is good. Okay. That's fine. Yeah. Means we have prologue. Arc 1. I just want to make sure, like, did any of this there? Like adventures, because we already, we established further ahead that adventures do exist. Like that. There might not a lot. We can kind of get that, like, Whiskey Peak almost. Yet another One Piece reference, as though I didn't just copy the entire thing of One Piece. Entire opening and backstory for them. I mean, she did something more practical. I mean, she arrives after a few days. Yeah. Yeah, of course I'll need... I could also figure out the names. The names, now that I can actually... I don't even... It's called a Kunoichi and Blonde Girl. Ugh. It's an etymology thing, though, isn't it? At least for the people names. Village names can probably be more different. Dragomir's kind of cool, though. I don't know. Will I ever change them? Who knows? Probably, because I want to do etymology, but... Yeah. So it's called Treehouse Isekai. Oh, Isekai! Woo! Yeah! The trees that his house was built in that were summoned by a super science world. The house threw out the calculations. So they finished pulling the trees later. Oh, at least they did. At least they finished that. That's good for them. Hey, I know the live action just came out for season 2, but like I didn't think I'd like go that far into just making One Piece. Oh well. Look, One Piece did pretty good. If that did good, then this should too, right? Anyway, Kunoichi does not want to settle in Big City. Just, that thing we just established there. These checkies aren't accurate, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, like, yeah, I did the thing. I can go on to next steps of Game of Year. Like, whoa. Okay, maybe I want to figure out a little more about the people first. I can't just have Shizuru and Shishato here. Like, literally, it still has the... Yes, this is from LikeHistoryQuill.com. How do we figure that out? Great. Okay. Yeah, we'll probably need to figure that out, but that can be for a later me issue, right? On Earth, there's 3 worlds total, and Treehouse was built on land that exists in all 3, which, oh my goodness. That's quite a lot there. Quite a lot. Yeah. Anything else I need to do here? Not really. Like this, I mean, since this checklist is for me, I think that's good. I don't really want to, like, make it more ruler-esque. Like, I can just do that during the thing, right? Because at that point, I don't need to worry about arcs. I've already established the big overarching part there. It's like, you know, I don't need to, you know, have the, you know, asking about it be relevant to, you know, arc 5 or whatever. I don't need that. It would just be easier for me if I was worrying about this, right? You know, asking about this, but yeah, you know, treasure lacks in this place, so. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it doesn't seem too bad. Experience, yeah, the good experience level is high there because it's memorable, even though it's not quite how I'd like it to be. But, I do like that ending. It's kind of like a nothing ending, but I like that. Because it makes sense. It makes sense with the whole thing. Yeah. No, I like what I've written more than I thought I would like it. I really have. Which is good for me, because that gives me more credibility that this could be good. I'm just thinking back to all my previous presentations. It's like, is there something there that I needed to do that I forgot about? It's like, no, I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good at that. I'm gonna read it for laughs on Royal Road. Alright. Alright, I'll consider it then. Thank you. You know, I do thank you for telling me about it, but, well, I've finished my thing for the time being. And that's actually a pretty good point in time, too. So, yes, I thank you for watching, and I do thank you for telling me about this. Yeah, that's about it. Do I need anything special? No. That's alright, though. You know, I do thank you for being here. You know, these recent right too. Yeah. That happens. But, yep. Thank you. I'll be back at some point in time, I'm sure. Hopefully tomorrow, or whatever. Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.